What's up, Dragon Ball fam? It's your boy Eddie Sanhele coming at you live today with another video. Today we are going to do uh let's say a discussion that people were asking me about, asking my takes on, right? Um I didn't want to just go willy-nilly into it. I wanted to sit for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and actually test the format out versus just whipping out the content without testing. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So ripping the universe. We have two new cards going into the Nationals 2022 Dragon Ball Super Card Game Championship game. And those two cards are SS4 Son Goku, a heartfelt plea, along with his pal King Piccolo, the new ruler. So right now, all we're gonna do is go over the changes to the list, which was, like I said, once again, these are the two banned cards. Next, we have the limits of power. This one is going to be the one limit that we got, which was the Yamcha Merciless Barrage. We're going to talk about this bad boy in depth in a little bit. Next couple of cards we have is going to be 5 cards to caught an unlucky break, hence the title Unlucky Break. What we mean by that is the 5 cards that were errated. So the first 3 were red. It's Vegeta's Resolve Renewed. It was errated to if your leader is a Vegeta leader. Broly Crown. Those are routed to with the permanent now. You can't play this card from anywhere by skills. And we have Divine Rays, which is now instead of 20k for both units in battle card swing, it's 30k, man. And the next 2 cards, we have Senzu Bean. Senzu Bean now can only be used defensively. It's during your opponent's turn, as well as Beerus the Visitor. So that endless hand refill is now fixed. Really good for other players, not so much for the actual Ramp Goku leader itself. Reboots at 1 liter. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Free for the future. All right, so in order to free up the future, we had to do some things to the past in order to make those necessary changes to see the future bloom, right? So those necessary changes were the first one we're gonna start off with was SS4 Son Goku or Heartfelt Plea. So the direct winner from this is 100% blue, green, yellow, and black, obviously. And the direct loser for this, it's 100% red, obviously. But specifically, when we're talking about red, we're going to be talking about Pan. Pan had the best and most efficient way to constantly, as I said, constantly, even though Heartfelt Plea was limited at 1, it had the best way to search it, but not only search it, but to constantly trigger this by turn 3, even turn 2, if they push it up, to push to the brink. Really huge loss for the deck because, like I said, it being at 1, unless it ended up in life, Pan could dig through the deck and actually search it through their there's a 1-drop Pan that reduces the cost except the top 5, and it's just adds a Saiyan card. Really good, really powerful. It's huge loss for Pan. We're gonna get into it in a little bit, what this means for actual red itself, because it does put red in a conundrum. So the next card on the hit list was King Piccolo, the new ruler. So cards such as King Piccolo, the new ruler, as well as cards such as Heartfelt Plea, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. When a card is limited, all that means is it's 1 step away from getting banned, right? Like if a card's that OP, realistically speaking, New Ruler would have been banned ages ago when they banned the other colors, because it was not just New Ruler for the color, respective color, right? Blue had a free play, blue had a free play, green had a free play, yellow had a free play, as well as that's it. Yeah, those 4 colors had free play cards, and they're gone. So yeah, really lucky that at the time where free plays were being banned left and right, you really was a championship card. It was this one right here, this winner card. So it did not get hit. Instead of getting hit, it just got limited. Close, very close. It stayed limited versus getting banned. But this was always a staple in red decks as long as you were playing a unison. Because realistically speaking, you had a free overwhelm. And if you open this turn 1 or you open it turn 2, it's a free double strike swing to the dome, which your opponent usually was not able to stop because it's a 20k double strike that avoids being blocked. Really, really huge, really, really important. Now this pretty much got hit. So the direct winners once again are the following colors: blue, green, yellow, and black. The direct loser for this is red. But now as we're talking about red, right, we're gonna get to a specific card that you're gonna see a pattern. It's taking indirect hits, indirect hits, indirect hits in order to water the card down itself because the card is very powerful. And the card we're referring to is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Powers Connection. So with this card, right, you slam this bad boy down. When this card is played, look at up to the top 3 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 red card among them to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So if you picked up New Ruler, man, you're slamming this bad boy down because you'd have been at 3. You'd have played this guy for 2. You plus 2 to play whatever respective card you wanted to play due to your color. At the time, it would be something like Crown. It would be something like the Supreme Rivalry Duo. It would be something like not the Super. It's the Goku. I forgot the names of it right now. But the SS4 Goku and SS4 Vegeta, that pretty much is going to draw you 2 cards by the time you get done with them. And if you had this Junior, once again, it was just an infinite bounce of damage. They're not going to be able to stop because his earliest turn to a double strike 20k that's not able to be blocked is something that's really, really hard to defend. So realistically speaking, your opponent would just take this to the chin and have to defend later on. Or even as the game progresses, when you think your opponent is down and out for the count, they'll be tapped out, they'll overwhelm, but then they still have an additional overwhelm with this Ruler. And if he was one of those Eddie negates and had a blocker on board, the blocker doesn't even matter because it surpasses block because it has the permanent if your leader card is red. And this card gains 5k power per turn, and your opponent can't activate blocker skills in response to this card's attack. So if you are 2 or less life, you set Eddie negate thinking that blocker is going to save you. They slam and you Ruler while you're at 2. You were just taking it to the chin, man. Like GG no re, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, King Piccolo and Heartfelt Plea died for Red Sins. But specifically speaking, like I said, we're gonna start focusing on the indirect hit that kept on hitting the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Powers Connection, right? So next on the list was limited. It's going to be Yamcha Merciless Barrage. So the direct winner of this 100%, yeah, I'm gonna say those colors again, which is blue, obviously. It's blue, green, yellow, and black, but specifically speaking, it's a red Vegito. As weird as it can be. Because with the new that's not new ruling, but with the clarification that this can actually interrupt the Union for Tara plays, this would have been problematic for Vegito. So Vegito's a clear winner from this, even though it is red. Vegito doesn't really play red unisons. Like the way Vegito played, it was turn 3, you were done for. Like it was just an OTK, like this is a one-shot kill because you weren't able to defend it. But the list did hit it, and we're gonna talk about it in a little bit. So Yamcha Merciless Barrage, man, it's not only plus for those colors, it's also a direct hit to red because another trend you're going to start to see is red is losing a lot of their defensive capabilities. But more specifically than just, hey, red is losing its defensive capabilities, once again, we're going to bring it back to indirectly hitting this SS4 Gogeta Powers Connection because now before whereas okay cool you can play this if you're playing the unison. You can have a combination between Yamcha Merciless Barrage to neg something that doesn't have deflect 15k along with backing up with a Wolfang Fist. You had the ability to take out an opponent's battle card that was 30k or less. Like it was what it was at that time and point, which is really, really huge without even like requiring yourself to pay an energy or you know what I'm saying, lose a marker. Cause like it was just free. Like you weren't taking life. It was completely free. Like it's not like Yamcha costs an energy, costs a life, like that he gets. It's not like Wolfang Fist costs the energy or costs life. These things were completely free. Because with this unison, it wasn't a +1, it's a +2. So you're most likely safe. Like you're super, super safe. In order for your opponent to take this out, they would have to have some super unison hate, such as before this new set, it would have to be playing 1-star ball or something to that effect, where you just taking multiple markers off a turn. Because a unison that plays itself for 2, but also pluses itself 2, but then the first battle card you play with, if it doesn't have deflect, they can negate 15, and then if you swing, they can negate another 15, this time ignoring Bear Wolfang Fist. Was really, 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 really powerful. Really, really a good defense that you had behind your back. So that's that with this. Also, red takes a huge hit once again because as we saw with the New Ruler hit and the Heartfelt Plea hit, there are other decks that can use Heartfelt Plea, but Pan, in my opinion, just use it the most efficiently, right? The New Ruler, every deck that was playing this SS4 Gogeta Powers Connection was also playing New Ruler. But now we see this SS4 Gogeta Powers Connection is now starting to take a hit defensively. And we're going to keep going on into this color itself. So now we have the next casualty on the list. This wasn't banned, this was limited, it was errata. So pretty much now you have to pay the 1 energy in order to trigger this because of the permanent that it now has on it. So once again, the biggest winner, I can say all those colors, but the biggest winner out of all those colors is 100% red. Because whereas this card was errata to paying an energy, you're still having to now pay an energy for something that blue is doing for free. When I say blue is doing something for free, the example I will give, something like Gamma, that at the end of their turn, they'll reset their energy and place 3 energy down. That's an active mode. And SS3, the reboot, it'll untap 3 energy. So those guys aren't paying energy or they're not doing anything to reset their energy. They're just passing turn and doing it. Versus Crown Knight, still a great card. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people say, well, this card is dead. This card is still great. This card will still put in work. The only difference is it's like now it's people were complaining that hey, Crown wasn't fair. You can play for free. I beg to venture now, those people are blue players because those blue players were never playing those energy for free. They were paying it on their turn, passing turn, and having a free set of energy. But now they can do that because in order to combat their free set of energy, you're now required to pay energy. And an interaction which I can give you guys, but like I said, right now I'm just gonna glimpse over this because I do have a series that's gonna be exclusive to Patreon. It's gonna be called, it's gonna be titled X Road to Nats. Like it's gonna be a red road to Nats, blue road to Nats. It's gonna be green road to Nats, black road to Nats, and then yellow road to Nats, right? It's going to talk about all the decks that are now playable. That's just foreshadowing what I'm going to talk about later on in this video. But a lot of decks are now it's a floodgate meta. As my wife was asking me, hey, where are you getting that phrase from? That's that the song kept playing in my head. It's a floodgate meta because people are going to have free energy while you're paying energy to combat their free energy. So obviously, the biggest hit to this is red, but once again, more specifically, is going to be another indirect hit to Super Saiyan for Gogeta Powers Connection. Because once again, the activate main on this card, you play +2, play 1 red battle card with an energy cost of 1 from your hand in rest mode. So essentially, in SS4, the Goku and SS4 Vegeta in it together, it was just OP because not only were you playing it for free, but you could also combo it off for an extra 5k power. So in overall, it would be pretty much a 15k power worth, a 15k combo power worth swing. Because if you were to super combo from their hand, that's neg 10k that they just lost. Plus, you just added a 5k because the crown would be in rest mode, which would then allow you to proc your permanent on your leader, which is to combo off the 5k that was in rest mode, which is Broly Crown Retribution. Card is once again still really good, really snap. The difference is it's not fair where okay, cool, you're free untapping energy and I'm free countering your untapping energy. Now we actually as red players have to pay 1 energy to counter their free. So blue gets the biggest win on this card more than any other color because yellow, yes, they can lead 12 at a time, but they don't really care. They have floodgates for days. But blue floodgates are turn-ending floodgates that cannot be responded to efficiently because you guys will see that one on the road to blue because blue is the biggest winner of this list. Just foreshadowing, I'm going to get to it at the end of this video. Let's get into the next one. We have Violent Rays, the 3 copies of Violent Rays. The hugest losers for this is 100% red. But specifically speaking, when I say red, is Vegito. Oddly enough, the anniversary box. Because the Vegito not only lost his defense, it's not just Vegito lost his defense, right? All of red. I'm gonna get to it in the winner slot. All of red lost his defense, but Vegito is like it was a self-inflicted, like it was friendly fire, right? Because you lost your defense, but this also stops the Vegito deck still. Because unless you're playing the Hyper Rush engine, all the other chain, whether it's the Secret Rare, whether it's either of the 8 drops are 30k or above. So it's like a double whammy for that deck itself. Now, another loser, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of collectors. Because a lot of collectors, you're looking at this guy right now, just like, Bandai, I hate you. But realistically speaking, the winners for this is every single color, even including red. Because as much as, yes, red has no defense now, the red man match is gonna be super easy. He's gonna be the better player. Whoever is the better aggressive player is gonna win that. Whoever is able to master the combo step is now gonna win because you don't have an ability to just stop. But red isn't the biggest winner. And this, I would say, the biggest winner for this specific hit or errata is going to go to green and black. Reason being, because green and black have some absurd numbers, but green and black, those absurd numbers come through paying energy. Blue, you can pay energy, have your stuff negated, but they have floodgates, right? Green and black, they didn't really have that ability to do it. For instance, if you're playing Gogeta Zeno, let's say Gogeta Zeno was a deck, you would swing, it's 25, it's like, damn, I just paid an energy, they paid one, they locked out my entire board. Now the fact that it's 30k, black cards, black leaders can go in. Same thing with green. For instance, the perfect example I can give you is green gold tanks, right? Green gold tanks, you would tap two and have a 25k dual attack swing, and for one energy for red, they would stop your attack and it would hit you on a crackback would be completely insane. But now that crackback, the fear of you being stopped and that crackback is gone because they now have to out combo your swings. Because the only other thing they can do to is either now switch over to Eddie Negates or have the imposing presence. So that's not really going to stop it because cards like that versus green and black is easily removable. Like I said, make sure to pay attention for the future series, whether you're a green player, a blue player, black player, red player, or blue player. I'm gonna have that series for each and every single color on the Patreon, going with the list and explicitly how and exclusively how to counteract the list if it affected you, and how to run with it and be the most successful you can be if it helped you. I'm telling you right now, green, I'd say more than black, benefited from this hit the most. The biggest loser from this obviously is obviously right. I'm pretty sure I hit up on that. So this guy, the unsung hero that went to every red deck because people thought it was just good in every red deck. Vegeta Resolve Renewed is now added to if your leader is a Vegeta leader. Fun fact, it says if your leader is a Vegeta leader, meaning it's not locked to just the right Vegeta leader, right? Another fun fact, this card can be played in any Vegeta leader because once again, it's not locked to just a red Vegeta leader. So if you're playing green and somehow green red becomes popular, you can play this card. Obviously the set 2 the anniversary one that came all of the hope on all the support with the Z leader and Z battle card, it's red, so you don't have to worry about that. But the biggest winner is going to be obviously them because they are able to still have possession of this card. Tied with them for the biggest winner is going to be blue. Specifically, the floodgate meta is back because now instead of having something to answer this, the answers you have are good, but they're not comboable, right? The most beneficial part of this card was not only that it answered most floodgates, some of them didn't answer, right? But the ones that were super annoying, like the Gohan Baby Minion, Oceanus, it answered it. But if it didn't answer those, you didn't care because it was a 5k combo. Now, once again, if you're gonna watch that the red road to NATS, it'll tell you all the alternatives that you have, the best ones, the ones you should be siding, the ones you should be maining. The alternatives that you have for this are not nearly as good as this because you can, but one has no combo power. You can. The other one is like, you'll never use it against unless it's specifically against this specific color. But this was just universal, and it wasn't just floodgates, right? If you had something that was going to play for one, and they really need that one drop, you can stop it. This is a really really good card. That got hit. It died for red players' sins, but the biggest winners from this, once again, it's going to be 100% blue, tied with the SS4, not SS4, the Vegito, because Vegito can still play this. But blue, you're going to see a resurgence of blue, and blue by far is probably going to be the most diverse color to get into right now because of the way this list hit. So let's get into the next card.
Next card is going to be Senzu Bean. A lot of players are going to say, man, this is unnecessary. This shouldn't have been hit. But I'm telling you, it 100% should have been hit. And they were spot on with this. A lot of players think they know why it got hit. And I'm telling you right now, it's not for Gohan. Even though the new Gohan from set 19, it's really, really good. Because with 3 energy, you can do a lot with your energy. Just Senzu Beaning, playing this guy, calming him off, doing this. Then you're going to burn your hand, going trying to go for a game. Then you draw 3. You're good to go. It was really, really good. But for real, Senzu Bean died for Vegito sins. I'm not gonna lie to you. Gohan is right there too, because Gohan it was contributing to it. But the real, I'm telling you, just trust Uncle Eddie. This was the real. Oh, excuse me, sorry. This was the real um culprit behind this hit. If you know, you know. If you're on the Patreon, you know. This Vegito, when you had the Senzu Bean, was completely insane. Oh my goodness, completely insane. The losers for this is hands down. Vegito is the biggest loser of Senzu Bean. Another loser for Senzu Bean was the SS4. There was the SS4 Goku and SS4 Vegeta. Excuse me, SS4 Goku and SS4 Vegeta build. It was nice, but it wasn't nice enough. I never got into it because I'm like, the build that we have currently for the Patreon community is, in my opinion, the best way to go currently, even after the ban list. And the red blue list, as good as it was just, man, if you were making it to the later game that long and you were trying to go against something like blue or something like yellow, Senzu Bean and all that extra output and stop you, because there's floodgates to stop you going to that longer route. I understand, yes, you can set up in turn 4 multiple guys and then finish them with the SS4, but trust me, I tested it. It's not worth the hassle. Gohan, in my opinion, is the second loser for this. Like I said, as good as it was in Gohan, imagine it in Vegito. That's all I'm gonna put it like that. I don't want to put the list out there, but Vegito was just 100% hands down snap. Blue doesn't really take the only other decks I can really see say taking a loss are those overachieving decks. Like when I say overachieving, those people who try to like not overcommit, but like they can flip the switch, the red blue decks, such as Launch, such as Cooler. You guys kind of took you guys were like kind of a sacrificial lamb. You weren't really looked at in the bigger picture. The bigger picture was Vegeta 100% because it was not fair. The thing with Gohan, and the reason why I tell you it's not fair with Vegito, you weren't seeing those cards with Sentiment at all. So if your hand was not didn't have the answer, you were never going to see the answer by the time you lost. Versus Gohan would give you the answer. Gohan would hit tall because of the stuff it can do after you Senzu Bean. But at the end of the day, Gohan has a chance to give you an answer. Vegito, you were not seeing any answers. It was just, by the time you saw your answer, it's because you picked up your last few life. I'm going to put it like that. And that one is going to be on the red road to NATS. The next loser on this list is going to be this Beerus the Visitor. Beerus the Visitor, very, very cool card, right? Funny enough, people said that's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a big of a deal because if you're really experienced with this deck, you would know that in between turn 3, turn 4, or turn 5, there will be a timing point where you can just tap all your energy out and fill your hand. Whether it's because your opponent was doing their best to rush you down because they know for a fact they're on a clock, or whether the case may be you were looking for a Zeno super combo, your hands would be fixed. Before you got to turn 6, realistically speaking, by the time you got to turn 5, but turn 6 the latest, your hands would be fixed because of this loop. A lot of people think you just need Beerus the Visitor in your hand. Back then, it wasn't like that. Really speaking, if you played Whis the Visitor and you just happen to have a Beerus in your hand, you can also trigger like that, which a lot of people are forgetting. Uh, really, 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 really good loop. It was really exploited by the players who knew how to play it, because essentially you would have all your Zeno super combos would be in your hand, or at least it would be 3 to 4 Zeno super combos in your hand by the time you did it, because you had to time it perfectly. And it was always on curve, which was the craziest part about it. So your opponent was always between a hard place when trying to play around this loop. Because if they literally try to burn your hand, all you needed was just the Whis and the Beerus to refill your hand and you were good to go. Rest in peace. Deck is still really, really good. But when you combine this hit along with the hits that we're seeing to red, we're going to start to see that as much as I love this deck, it's like the multiverse just hit, right? Like the Spider-Man, if you guys saw that, with the multiverse, a crap load of blue decks just flooded into this meta due to this list. Not just for this hit, but for the red sins that got hit. um, Yeah. So the snake way picture, right? Once again, the snake way picture is reminiscent and showing you guys that yes, the road, the red road to Nats, the blue road to Nats, the green road to Nats, the yellow road to Nats, and the black road to Nats are coming. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns on what decks to play, because I don't want to go into it because I don't want to cheat those guys once again. But I do want to help you guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, the implications of this list are huge, right? When I say they're huge because, for instance, the thing that Red did that a lot of you guys are not seeing is Red is now crippled in a way where, realistically speaking, they have three decks they can play. But of the three decks, two of those decks are really, really, really like they're gonna have to go through a bunch of variants now versus just the one deck. Blue is going to be the most diverse color. When I say that, I'm talking about you can play. It's gonna have that's gonna be the color where you're gonna see the most leaders from that one color itself. Green is not playable due to the hits from red. Green, there's an X factor in green because of the specific card I'm showing right now. Bonnet Rays really, really good. Not only for Violet Rays though, but for the fact there's going to be a resurgence of blue. There's a green deck you guys should be looking out for that will be on the green road to Nats, as well as the other green decks where obviously like you have these Zenkai series set ones which were Gold Tanks, as well as the King Piccolo, which is a huge good good to go card because now Violent Rays, guess what? You guys were base 20, but now with Violent Rays, you're safe and you're good to go. Black can also have playable leaders too. It's just a fun time to play Dragon. Like I said, I'm going to be focusing on making those videos, so you may see me gone for a little bit from YouTube. I'll put some gameplay video, but actual like I may take a week off because those road to Nats videos are going to be really in depth, and I really want to focus on helping those guys get there. So if you feel inclined, feel free to join. If not, it's fine. You guys can still get the free information from here. But the rest of this week, most likely, is going to be just gameplay videos. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Hit all, baby. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.